Joining me now with his take on the incident is singer and Raleigh native Clay Aiken. Hey, Clay, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. Now, you're from the area in Raleigh.
I am, yeah.
You are from
Born and
Raleigh.
raised.
In fact, are you there right now?
I am.
You are. So are you surprised to hear that this happened in Raleigh, or is it de rigueur in Raleigh?
You know, well, it's definitely not that. It was a little bit surprising, especially the area that it happened in. You know, it's a more progressive area. Raleigh, I think people paint the South sometimes with a broad stroke, which I don't think is necessarily fair. And this area is relatively progressive. It always has been, especially relative to some other places in the South. So I think the reason it made news here was the fact that it was a little bit surprising,
right.
Especially in the place that it was.
Now, there seems to be a recent uptick, as they say, in anti-gay incidents in this country. Why do you think that's happening now?
You know what? I don't know if it's because that it's happened more or there's just been more attention paid to it. And I think if it is that more attention's been paid to it, I think that's great. I think bringing awareness to the fact that, you know, individuals have been bullied for being gay or being lesbian for decades, for years, and now we're seeing it a little bit more in the news. I think it's made people stop and think a little bit about their behavior and about the words that they choose and the words that they say. I don't know that necessarily there's been more bullying or uptick in anti-gay behavior as much as it's just been made more aware. We've been made more aware of it.
Well, you know, I just found out that the Pentagon is telling recruiters around the country that they can now, you know, accept openly gay candidates for the military because of the ruling.
I know, I heard.
The ruling that came down. Of course, it's going to be appealed. What do you say? Isn't that something that the Pentagon is behind this now?
I think it's incredible. I think that fortunately, I believe that the Pentagon, obviously, Secretary Gates and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs are both have been very outspoken in their belief that the Don't Ask, Don't Tell should be repealed, and I think that is probably leading them to follow the department, you know, follow the ruling of the federal courts in the way that it was handed down. I think that the thing that we need to hope for is the fact that if for some reason this ruling gets overturned or gets stayed, that those openly gay recruits are not then put out again. And so I think that people must need to be obviously very deliberate in the decisions they make because as we've seen time and time again, you can't necessarily trust that that the folks in Washington are going to do the right thing.
That's true. But you know, let's talk about the word gay for a second, because there's a whole thing this week that I was hearing about with Vince Vaughn, who has this movie called The Dilemma. And in the trailer, he refers to electric cars as gay. It's a joke. He's a comedian, and it's a joke, and it's supposed to be a funny movie. And Anderson Cooper has basically said, don't use the word that way. It's a pejorative. It's in a pejorative sense, and it's not good. And he objected to that. He says that humor brings us together, etc. What is your take on the word gay? Are we supposed to not use it in that way? He said the electric car is gay, not in a homosexual way, but you know, in some other lame way. Yeah.
You know, I think there's a fine line between it. Now, obviously, I can see both sides of the issue, but I would say that we probably wouldn't say that an electric car is black and think it was funny, or say that an electric car was Jewish and think it was funny. Using the term gay as a negative word has become a little bit of a popular thing to do, and as a gay man, I can see why that's sensitive it becomes sensitive to people,
right? Because
especially
it's
if you're a teenager.
Used. It's a negative. Okay, I want to talk some more about this with you when we come back in a minute. Stay right there.